This 2002 Ford Taurus, or is it a 2001? 2002, I think. Ford Taurus, and it's leaking coolant everywhere. And the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. Then we're going to drain the nasty fluids out, because these were fresh fluids in here. And now it's pretty nasty looking fluids in there, and it wasn't that long ago that I replaced it, like a few thousand miles. So I'm going to drain out all that yucky stuff. Alrighty, so working on the getting to drain the tank. There's 3 8mm bolts and 7 5.5mm bolts, or what I used was 7 32nds. These little fuckers are rusty and difficult to get out. My hand is sore. Then once you get those out, these fast. Oops, you gotta get all the bolts out. I guess there was 8, not 7. Anyway, so there we are. Alrighty, like take 2 or something, because well, I didn't remember to get that last bolt. There are a total of 3 of these guys and 8 of those guys. 8 of those guys, 3 of those guys, and then you can get the covers out of the way enough to let this thing drain out. In my case, it won't be all that much, probably, because it's already been draining out all over the damn place, as you can see there. So now that that's draining, we can work on this fun stuff up here, like getting this coolant tank out, because I don't really need that there right now. Alright, so step 1 is draining the fluid. Actually, it's more like step 3 or 4 if you count all the stuff like pressurizing the system a little bit, disconnecting the battery, but whatever, you know. This time we get to use my favorite tool is channel locks. These should come off pretty easily, since I just put this on here a couple months ago, and now look at that. It really drains faster now. Looks like there's maybe more in there than I thought. Let's see. Recording the whole time, huh? Alrighty, well. So where were we? I think the score was 3 8mm bolts, 8 5.5 or 7/16, 7/32 inch screws that were, you know, kind of a workout to get out. 8 of them. And they were, I don't know, 18 years old, I guess. Okay, so we got 2 of the hoses. There's another hose right here. Okay. Alrighty. Still what to do in there. Looks like I got some bolts to undo. My guess is 10 millimeter. Alrighty. That's now out. It's actually like a brand new tank, but I didn't flush the system, so all that rust in there made it dirty. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back here to hold this clip into place so I don't lose it like the one that's over there. Or maybe over there, I don't know. Some right around here. And you can see it's kind of wet and messy down here. And here. I got a rust there. Because the previous tank leaked all over the damn place. Until I fixed it, it had about 18 cracks in the bottom of it. I don't know, it might have been 900. So, there we are. That's going to make it, I want to show you. So, that's going to make it a whole lot easier to work in there. So, things I got to do. Got to take the alternator off, disconnect it here. That's why we disconnected the battery. Disconnect this cable here, disconnect that there. And we'll take out some bolts here and here, take this brace off, or maybe here. Yeah, maybe here. Here and here should be easy. Might need to take it off there, I don't know. Then we take the alternator out. And then I guess this is the power steering pump. I'll need to take that guy out. And then we can see what more is going on. And by what more is going on, I mean, oh, I guess I gotta take the belt off before any of that. There's a tensioner right here. Right here, I gotta put a wrench on there and crank it over to take the tension off, and we can pull this guy off. This guy's got about 65,000 miles on it, so I should probably change it. So, that's the plan. Alright, so I guess first thing to do is start with disconnecting the alternator. Or 10, looks like. How do I know it's going to be a 10? The last bolt I used was a 10, right? Looks like I might have just broke that tab. Oh well, it's okay. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not crying. I'm not crying! Okay, so, no took too long, but whatever. Got that out the way. Go ahead and pull that out. Sort of out the way too. Oh, that's a big one. That looks like about 18. Oh, I found it. That's the right size, all right. Does that look like about? Alrighty. Set that there for now. Set that there for now. Looks like it's 13. Get out the old impact. Alrighty. Have I got it on there? I think so. Am I not doing it the right way? I think maybe I'm not doing it the right way. Yeah, it's going the wrong way. So, I'm not doing this the right way. I'm doing it the right way. Now I gotta lift this belt off. Come on, baby. 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 Yay! And release the tension. Good boy. Oh, got the belt done. Now we can take off this brace and take the alternator out finally, hopefully. So there we go. Alrighty. So, man, I have to take a break after all that. Finally found my 18 millimeter. This is no fun. It's gonna be a really interesting video, huh? Oh boy. Working that working that 18 millimeter. buddy. Alrighty. That's probably gonna start dripping and making a mess. Now we got this clamp over here. Alrighty, got that done. Now I think I'm gonna put this back in for now. Not like all the way in, but in enough to stop the dripping. Good enough. Alright, got a 15 millimeter on here. Start pulling stuff off. And the bolt is captive. We'll set it aside. What else do we got to take off? Well, I wonder if I'll be able to remember where the rusty bolt goes. Ooh boy, that is a rusty bolt. And I did take this guy out. These guys, big old T50 jobber. Works. So I had to get a new bit. Mine was buggered up and had to get a new one, and gosh darn, that made all the difference. Though it was frozen on there pretty hard, even though there's clearly no rust. Then once you get that out, there's a bolt underneath it that you can pull out, 15 millimeter bolt. That goes right in here. And once you get that out, you can get this to slide. Then you realize, oh hey, you know what? I'm not going to be able to get this to move unless maybe I. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to pull the stud out. Although, I suppose instead of double nutting it up here, I can just put some vice grips on it here. That seems like the way to do it. It'd be nice if it had a slot in there. I could put a straight blade. I could grind a slot in there if I wanted, but I don't really feel like getting out another tool just to do that. So we'll do this. Ah, there we are. Yay. Hooray, that's done. My back can really look in it. I'm going to take a screwdriver and jam this guy off. There's a hose here. Low pressure hose. Nice thin screwdriver. Try to like it's already leaked out. without making too much of a mess. We've got one little towel down here, but it's already soaked up a bunch, so let's throw it away. Alrighty. That out. Put that down there for now. That was a little heavy. Yeah, we've been leaking automatic transmission fluid on the AC compressor here. That's probably not good for it. Guess we can go ahead and knock all this dirt out of here too while we're Alright. Skinny screwdriver comes in handy again. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to have to take a break for a minute. Alright, back at it. So, we got a few more things. Let's see, what else we got going on here. Oh, we got to take this bracket off. Take these coolant hoses off. So, I should probably get to that. Sometimes you find a bolt or a nut that's a little stiff and you get your impact tool out and it comes free. It's like magic. This is one of my favoriteest tools. It's my Pop's hammer. There we go. That was difficult. Alright, now we got this one back here. You can hear it go crack. Now it's loose at least. Hopefully it'll come off. Yes. Whew. That was some work. This guy was crusted on there for quite a while. So not anymore. I'm tired. So I'm gonna rest a minute. Because that kind of wore me out. But I think we got about this much done as we need to up here. Now I can, actually I should start pulling off the pulley. What's that, another 13? Alright, alright. Well, I only got that one 13, I think. So. One. Come on. Two. 3. 4. bore and the pulley. I'm going to put these nuts back in here because actually I think I'll leave them out because there is not much clearance between here and that wall. So I'll leave them in the pulley for now. Alrighty. So I think we've got just about everything up here to get. So there we are. I went ahead and took the liner out and put the screws back in it because it makes it easier. Now I got this fun mess to deal with. What I'm gonna have some filthy dirtiness. We'll clean this. We'll pull that crank pulley. Then we'll pull that. I think we'll probably pull that bolt out and then pull the pulley off. I'm not exactly sure, but after that stuff comes off, we get that crank wheel off. Oh, and I gotta get the crank position sensor. Probably gotta take that off. That's hidden up there somewhere. So that's what we're up to next. Oops, I might not have got that. I just took out the pulley. And the 4 13mm bolts, and the pulley comes right off after you pull these bolts out. Now we need that 13/16. Alrighty. This might take a minute. I think I got it squared away. There we are. The eagle has landed. Okay, I hope the camera's pointed in the right place. I've got these 2 screws out that hold the crank position sensor on, and they're 7mm. At least 7mm seems to fit. And in my case, they were quite crusty. A couple of down there that I should probably get, like these. About that little guy is 8mm. We'll go ahead and pull that guy out. This guy here. Alright, that's one of them. Short or long. And the other one. Alrighty. Yeah, it looks like I should start working on up here. Okay. So we can remember there's a short stud here and a long stud here, and then another one down there. And the rest hopefully are close enough to the same size. Oh, and there's another stud one. A lot of stud ones. But this one's a smaller stud. And that'll make it easier to get to this one here. Come back here. Well, I'm guessing that one's captive because I can't get it to come out. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Alright, pull that one out. That one looks a little rusty. That one looks a lot of rusty. That's a lot of rusty. Alrighty, some more. Three are the same size. Only one of them has the goop on. Oh no, two of them got the goop on it. And pull this heat shield out of the way. Yep, right into the light. Right into the light. Yep, seems to be making a little bit of a mess there. Yeah, that last one there was the lucky one. It made all the fun. I don't know why it won't come out. Alright, now let's pry it off. It can drip away. A bit fidgety, but we have removed it. We're going to look and see if it looks like that's where the leak was. You know, that looks like where the leak was. That's my guess. So, I'm going to have to clean all that up, and we don't want to get any debris inside the motor there. Looks like we'll need to clean up that gasket, but it looks good. And definitely need to clean this stuff up. The old gasket. I guess I could start by plug those holes up basically so that debris doesn't get in there when I knock all this shit out. And it seems to be coming right off. It's been on there for about 18 years. Looking at it with my finger seems to get the big chunks. Let's have a look at this guy. This looks pretty nasty. This is probably where it's been leaking. See here where it's clean, it's been nice and sealed. Notice here where it's not very clean. Yeah. Alright, so we'll need to clean that up too. And have a look at that water pump also. So I think the last we left off, I just pulled this part out, and it was okay. So this is the part where it mates up the engine. It was leaking very badly right in this area and in this area too. So this area here and this area here. Right now it's all nicely cleaned up. There's some stain marks on there, but I assure you it's still very clean. It was very difficult to get this gasket off. Most of the gasket was very easy to get off. This part was a little difficult, but what made it even more fun was the water pump, which I didn't really need to pull off, but I wanted to check it out to make sure the impeller was in good shape and everything was working good, and you can't see it, so I had to take it off, and that ended up taking me pretty much like half a day just to scrape the gasket off and get the new one on. It was very ironically, this gasket failed. This gasket was super strong and very difficult to remove. I tried all kinds of things. In fact, you can see some of the things I tried here that did not work. This is actually a dull scraper blade. Kind of like that one because it doesn't scratch up the metal. But I tried that and that failed. What I ended up using was a wood chisel to get the gasket off. It was very well stuck on there, and I had to use a very sharp chisel. And I did scratch up the metal a little bit in places. I was trying to be very careful, but it's still going to happen. So after getting that all cleaned off, actually it was very difficult to get it off even with this. I managed to get most of it off, but then I still had little bits left, and I had to use the other scraper devices to try to remove them. And I tried using brake cleaner, various solvents. I even brought out a torch to try to get these gaskets off, and all that didn't really work terribly well. I don't know what these gaskets were, why, but this was like one of the most difficult gaskets I've ever had. So I had to resort to barbaric tools, but I got the job done. And then I actually used some very fine sandpaper on the surfaces to clean them up a little bit more. It's not really the right way to do it, but hopefully it'll work just fine. Then I banged out the seal that was in here. This one here. I had to use chisel from the back side to get that sucker out. It really did not want to come out. I tried using a socket and I couldn't quite get it like on the edge there, and I ended up using this and knocking it out, and it came right out with the chisel. Then putting in the new seal, I just put a board on here and smack the seal in. It probably bent it a little bit, but I think it'll do a good job. Now you gotta lube this up, and oh, I also put the there's 5 8mm bolts in there, 3 here, and I put those suckers back in, but I left them a little loose so that these holes will line up with the other holes. When I put all these bolts in, then I can cinch all these down. And I believe these are about 20 pounds, foot-pounds, and these are like 5. They're not very much. It doesn't take much to hold those suckers in place. Basically, these just hold the pump onto here. I don't even know why you need those, because I guess that they hold the pump onto here after you pull these bolts out. So they don't really need a lot of force. It's these bolts that hold everything together nicely. So there we are. And it's just about ready to go back in. I've cleaned all the surfaces. I even used a fresh towel and brake clean on all of this stuff so that it's nice and clean and will hopefully seal very well. So now that mess is cleaned up out there, I gotta clean this mess up out here. Inside the car, it's got the gasket. Actually, a little bit of rust since the last day or two since I got at it. There's the gasket here. Most of it came off pretty easy. This seems to be coming off pretty easy too. Kind of like that. Not hating that. Looks like it's just a little bit over on this side. It's kind of gooey. So, that cleaned up. Like there's a little RTV here on the oil pan seal. Clean that up, put some fresh stuff on there. This is actually relatively easy to clean. I'm not going to need power tools or anything like that. Yeah. Thought I was gonna need to get a wire wheel and just start whirling away at all of this to knock it off, but I think it'll actually just peel right off. Probably with my finger. It was nice and clean earlier, but my finger is not clean anymore. Oh well, whatever. So I did put these paper towels in here, or these shop towels, whatever, in there to help keep any of these bits and dirt and coolant and stuff that we don't like from getting in the oil. If I can press there, I'd probably blow it out. Press there though. Gasket right here. Gotta clean that all up. You can't even see what I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I gotta clean that all up. Okay. Okay, clean this up. I even used the brake clean on the towel and wipe that all around carefully. And now I'm ready to pull out these rags that are here just to make sure I don't get any dirt inside the motor. So everything should be very, very clean. So let's go ahead and clean. Now it goes the wrong way, and that was it. This is the not wrong way, hopefully, or it's the wrong gasket. That seems to fit. Tube of black RTV. Flop there. Flop there. Just right in the corner is what I did. Okay, so that oil ring there should get some oil on it to help it go on without causing any wear. And you can go ahead and get oil all over it because that's what's going to be holding the oil in. So it's okay if you get it all over here. There's no point in putting it on the outside here though. Now okay, the fun part, trying to get it back on. There's all this stuff in our way. Stuff like, because move this hose out of the way. I've got this heat shield I gotta move out of the way. And then I gotta get the shaft Now I've got some Teflon. Cleaned off the RTV bolts. We don't want RTV in these bolts. Let's see. So the first two are these guys here, and just on this side of the pump, the little one goes. By little, I mean the little stud. And this Teflon sealant. Okay, one stud goes in the second one. Actually, these look like they didn't get any sealant and they didn't get rusty, so they probably don't need any sealant. But it's not going to hurt anything to put a little sealant on it. Actually, kind of helps it thread. Looks like it's a lubricant, so nothing else. Get that added benefit. Alrighty, so those are the first two, were the short stud and the long stud. Then there's a whole bunch of regular size ones. Most of them are single size. The one down here also has a stud. I had it up here, but I had it up here, and I put some stuff on it, and I can't find it. And that's definitely one that needs sealant because it was all rusty. I had to clean it off quite a bit. Any rate, so somehow I lost it and I can't find it. But I will have to find it at some point. Any rate, so we've got several of these guys to put in also. Let's go ahead and just gob them up with some sealant. And there. And you can see on these they did have a sealant. And you can see it did work on this one, but not so good on that one. Anyway. Now those are all in place. Well, I probably should wait till I get that last one, just because. And I'm going to have to find that. So I'm going to have to shut the thing off and look for that stupid bolt. So right here you can see the oil pan seal. Oops. Looks like it's maybe pushed out a little bit in the front. This is actually quite difficult to put back in. And you've got holes here and here where you got to line up screws, and if that isn't in right, then the screws won't line up right, and well, things won't seal. So it's really important, first thing you do when you put this cover on is to put those two bottom bolts in, make sure that seal's fitting right. These are a couple of 8mm bolts. Now we have to set this guy. Shoot, where's that screwdriver, damn it? I need that screwdriver. Alright, wrench has been set to assemble. Okay, set to on. Okay, that's on good enough. Alright, dropping stuff all over the place. There goes the socket. Well, I don't need that till I put the other one in. Put that one in loose and drop it on the ground so that we can come back over here. Ha ha ha. Yeah. If you dry it off and clean your hands, and it won't slip out of your hands. Alrighty. And I also know that I lost this bolt here. Don't know how I lose a bolt. I don't know. How do you lose a bolt? Got up and walk away. I don't know. Anyway, so I should probably start snagging some of these guys down. Alright, where the hell did that stuff go? How could it elude me? How is this possible? Where are these things going? That bolt and that socket. Oh, this is just too damn frustrating. Well, I never did find that tool, and I never did find the that bolt. That's not an 8mm. There it is. See, there's one. Two. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I use a small wrench, so it makes it hard to over tighten. I didn't even torque those, so they're only like 5 pounds. Drop another socket. But where the hell did that socket go? Alright, well, pretty sure I can still get that socket on after I get this on. I think I want to get this on. Come on, light. There we are. Yeah. Alright, I think I might have to call it a night because I gotta find that bolt and I gotta find that tool, and it's getting dark and I'm just tired. This thing's been frustrating for me. It's getting dark. Time to eat. Okay, so I have them all torqued down, including those 17mm ones down there. Yeah, I'll leave a chart to show you which ones go where and the torque specs on them. And even a part number, but when I had a problem and needed one, they're obsolete, so they probably won't have the part if you ask. But you'll know what size, so that's the important thing. Okay, so I put some of the thread locker there on a bolt, and we'll put it back in. Alrighty. That is good for now. Now I gotta torque it down. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and get that crank position sensor. The guy goes back in here. Aha. Okay, so that one sort of fits inside the hammer chisel there. Go ahead and take your little teeny hammer. Whew. Yeah. Let's take this out of here. Okay, something I should have done to the other one, but I didn't, was put some lube on it. Oh, come on, you. Ooh, I had to put on a glove. Alrighty, with those impacted on, we're ready to go to next step. Yeah, one thing I don't want to forget to do, the final impact torquing on that. I guess I'll take the extension out so that you can. Yeah, I got it set for 107 foot-pounds. Alrighty. Now it's set. Now you gotta put the pulley on. Alrighty. Whew. Whew, it's a tough bolt. Yeah. Alright, well, we're back up here because, well, this is where there's things to do left. Like, plug in the sensor there, the crank position sensor. And we've got it running on the small stud there. I guess we could probably get this guy back in here. Can need pliers. And we can go ahead and get that one's in place. I hope that's where it wants to go. I'm really not sure exactly. I think that's about right. Well, that's where it is now. I guess we ought to put on a pulley. Thread locker. Put some of that on there. And it comes with it, so you gotta use it right. Good. If you wind back to whenever it was that I was putting the timing cover on, one of the things to put on at that time is the bracket that goes from the air conditioning compressor to the there's a nutted stud on there, the one that I had to replace, one that I lost, and that should get put on too right after you put the timing cover on. There's no good reason to wait for that. So instead of waiting till the last minute. However, if you do wait till the last minute, you can actually reach up from underneath before you put the wheel back on the car. You can reach back up from underneath, and with a 13mm wrench, put the bracket on the stud, then put the 13mm nut on there, and then tighten both of the 13mm nuts, and you're good to go. It is difficult to reach in there, and there isn't a lot of space to get a lot of leverage, but can be done, especially if you are creative. But rather than be creative, it'd be better to put that part on ahead of time. So note to me in the future, put it on ahead of time instead of wait until later, because that's the dumb thing to do. You don't want to do the dumb thing, do you? No, of course not. So not doing that again will make things a little easier. Looks like I think I'm ready for power steering assembly. Alrighty. Okay, that's good enough for now. Yep, that's my 18mm, I believe. Because you gotta have an 18mm open and wrench for this. Ay, why does this one have to be so difficult? I don't know if you can see, but over here. This off. Oh, I suppose I can put it back there. And I can just... That's good enough. Slide him back in there. Why that gotta be so difficult? Yeah, that was a little bit messy and difficult. Not sure why. Still don't even have it on. A little bit of used transmission fluid will help guide it on its way. And oops, dropped it. Alrighty, so the fun begins today with undoing some of the stuff we did last time because I made mistakes with the camera. Oopers. So we'll have to undo some things. So undo those. Tap this guy back a little bit, make it easy to put the part back in. Oh yeah, that was torqued down good. Maybe we can have some fun here. I gotta get this guy back in here, good, and pry it off. There. Getting it. Okay, let's go ahead and put your tensioner in. I am using the original one. I probably should change the belt and tensioner and all and the pulley here, but I'm going to go ahead and I can change that later if I need changing it, but I'm going to go ahead and keep on using the factory one for now. It was squeaking a little bit, whatever. Probably should set my trusty torque wrench. I got the new lightweight model torque wrench. I torqued this one. This one, even though it's small, it does go up to the 40 pounds required for this here bolt. So I think it's 40. I don't even really know, but it should be just about 40. There we go. That one's set. Now I gotta put this one on. Okay, I gotta start over with this pulley here. Put this guy under here, hold it in place. Okay. Slide this guy in, and notice how easy it is to put this in place because I kept this sleeve back just a little bit. Whew. There we go. Alrighty, that one's set. Well, at least it's good enough for now. We'll have to be able to move it around, so now we've got to hook that sucker up. So that involves plugging this back in. This wire is back in, nearby because I already had it hooked up, but I had a camera failure and didn't get video of it, so we're connecting it, but this is a bit to find this wire after moving it around out of the way several times to get to other things. I had to fish it out from under here. It's not immediately obvious where it came from, and you can't really see, but we'll tap this one on. Don't want to tap too hard on this terminal though. Alrighty. Well, now that I realize that bracket's going to have to, that bolt's going to have to come back out for this. Get my pry bar. Might have to get in here. Get that bolt. Yeah. Whew. Got it. Whew. Tap this guy back out just a smidge. Doesn't have to go much, just a little bit, and then this happens so much easier. Whew. Okay. Alrighty. Now I've got to get this guy in. Okay, so it's the last bolt. I'd loosen this one up. Now it's time to put that one in. So there we go. Alrighty. Oops, so that's basically all we got to do. Let me put that right there so I can see it, because there really is no good place to put the camera to do this. And I suppose There's no point. I suppose I could put the camera pointing at me so you can see me struggle. Are you a sadistic viewer? Do you want to watch me strain? Alright. Okay, so guess what I can do is I can show you how I've got the belt all sort of set up, the slack here, and it is routed down and around, and it's actually routed just like that along the bottom up on the AC pulley on the crankshaft, and then from the crankshaft it goes along the tensioner and back under the water pump, and then under the where's that pulley and around the back of the power steering compressor here. So now I just got to get a 15mm in here and bring it this way. I believe that way will take the tension off. And while I bring that wrenches that way, bring this up this way. Easy peasy, right? Go this way. It seems to go the opposite direction. Alrighty. Seems to be good. There. Good all around. Looks like we're good. Alright, so now that the belt is under tension, I can actually finish up the torque on those bolts. Alrighty, I think it's actually pretty much done. All I gotta do is put that tank back in. Wow, hard to believe, huh? Finally back together. Yeah, where's my tank? Oops, what was that? What was that? Oh, there's the bolt I lost. Are you kidding me? Alrighty, well, I had some camera troubles, but I assure you I did get these hoses. And one down here on, and this bolt in, and there's another one that goes over here, but I don't know where that is. But you know, it'll probably be okay. Don't tell anyone. So after I did that, I went ahead and I opened this up, and I ran a hose in there, and I flushed all the fluids out of the motor. I ran the motor for a while, and I just ran water in it until it flushed out all the colored brown orangey kind of stuff like this here. I don't know if you can see, it's sort of stained. This is actually a new tank I got like a year ago when the other one deteriorated and leaked all underneath it. This residue here is from when the coolant leaked under it, when the old tank. So this tank is only a year old, but the rust that was in the coolant the time, it pretty well stained the tank. So I probably should have flushed the system then. I didn't. I probably should have flushed the system 10 years ago and didn't. At any rate, so this time, since I had already drained most of the fluid out, and what didn't leak out while it was leaking in the timing cover, so I figured I'd just flush it all out and get only clean stuff in there. And that meant just opening the valve down here that you have to open up toward the beginning when you're draining and cleaning fluids, and running the motor, and having the hose run just at a low pressure to keep the tank full while it flushes out the system. Then I stopped the water and left the engine running until it pumped out all the fluids that it was going to pump out, and then I shut it off. And you also want to turn the heater on, and want to get the engine up to temperature. So you may need to close off the water for a bit, get the engine up to temperature, close the valve off, and then let it all drain out while you have the heater on, because the heater will have a bunch of fluid in there too. So you want to have the heater on. I went ahead and turned the fan on, although I don't know that makes a difference. Whatever. And try to get all the coolant out. Once all that was out, I closed up the valve down there, filled the engine up with coolant, and it takes a couple of gallons. So fill this up, start the motor running, fill this tank up, start the motor up, and then keep filling this up as it burps the air out. And it may take a while. Move the car up and down on a hill at an angle to get all the air out of the system. And once all the air's out of the system, then you want to come down here and put these bolts that hold this guy in. There's a bunch of screws, 5.5 millimeters, like 8 of them, and 3 8mm screws. Put those in, that holds all that up there, and you're done. It's all completed. And then you're like, oh yay, I can drive my car now, yay, I'm happy. And then you get to be happy for a minute. So yay, happy for a minute. And if you like the video, click the things, the share, the like, click all the things. Just click as many things as you're comfortable clicking. Click them all. Click them a couple of times if you like. Click them the best you can click the things. And this one's done. Hammer. Chisel there. Go ahead and take your little teeny hammer. Let's take this out of here. Alright. And oh, dropped it. Maybe we can have some fun here. I gotta get this guy back in here, get him pry it off. There. Getting it. There we go. That one's set. this guy back out just a It's, yeah, it does go this way. It seems to go the opposite direction. Alrighty. Seems to be good. There. Good all around. Looks like we're good. Yeah, where's my tank? Oops, what was that? What was that? Oh, there's the bolt I lost. Are you kidding me? And then you get to be happy for a minute. So, yay, happy for a minute. And if you like the video, click the things, the share, the like, click all the things. Just click as many things as you're comfortable clicking. Click them all. Click them a couple of times if you like. Click them the best you can. Click the things, and this one's done. Okay, gotta start over with this pulley here. Put this guy under here, hold it in place. Okay, gonna hammer it out. Let's take this out of here. Maybe we can have some fun here. Let's take this out of here. Maybe we can have some fun here. Okay, I gotta start over with this pulley here. Put this guy under here, hold it in place. Okay, hammer it. Okay, I gotta start over with this pulley here. Put this guy under here, hold it in place. Okay, I gotta start over with this pulley here. Put this guy under here, hold it in place.